This is the first podcast of whatever this will be. I was going to have video, but I decided last moment, mainly because of effort, that I would just do audio. And we will see what will happen with that. So the first one, I really wanted to just talk. Just us. This is so weird. But later on, I was hoping people could write in for just whatever they want to write in for. I'm not really that picky with that. And you guys could be a part of the show if you wanted to. Obviously, no one could write in. It literally could just be me talking to a wall. But once again, we will see what happens. So I wrote down a bunch of shit that we could talk about, because I would be aimlessly stuck here, uncomfortable. And my boyfriend is literally outside the door listening to me talk, so that's fun. But oh my god, there's so much. I'm gonna have to cut this up because this is so uncomfortable. God damn it, I have no idea what to even fucking talk about. Oh, okay, let's talk about the Oscars. Oh my god, that wasn't the Oscars, the Grammys. I know those are two different things. Oh my god, the performances. I don't normally watch the Oscars or I used to, not really. Not that it's I would watch, this is so embarrassing. I would watch the like it would basically be like a rundown of all the drama in Hollywood. That's what I would watch. And so whenever something would happen at the Oscars or the Grammys, I would hear like the headlines, and that's basically it. But I decided to start watching the Oscars and the Grammys. I really like it. It's very I don't want to say anything mean. It's very prestigious, I'll say that. So it's definitely something that I would not be comfortable with, but it's very nice watching. I loved watching it. Oh my god, the performances were so good. I'm going to butcher the names because I do not keep up with I used to, once again. I don't keep up with like celebrities and new people on the scene. I really should. I really should. But I know like stuff like celebrities growing up are people that I grew up with, but I don't really know the newish, like even like the past like 7 years is what I consider new. I don't know them. And so I feel horrible when I'm like, oh, I don't know how to say this. I literally don't know how to say this person's name because I'm so uninformed. But it's nothing about this person. Obviously, they're completely insanely popular. But I'm not really, I'm in the world of my own. But like, I did enjoy watching all the performances that happened. I literally said I was going to pronounce their names. Fuck. I'm just not going to single anyone out and just say all the performances were amazing. I always enjoy seeing Taylor Swift dance. Literally being the only one to dance. Like, why does no one... Everyone's so uncomfortable. That's what it looks like. It looks like everyone is so uncomfortable. And it's literally like a concert. But that would literally be like the worst thing for me. I'm sorry. Like, going to a stadium and performing to people that came to see you sounds fun. going to a place where it's literally full of like a bunch of people in suits gonna judge you and like probably like in charge of some things, like, just that sounds too stressful for me. Like, no. Oh my god. But obviously everyone's not a nervous freaking wreck like me. So that was really fun to watch. I actually did have fun watching that. That's all I will say. I will say there are 2 songs There are two songs from the Grammys. Let me stop fucking mixing the words up. Can I even cuss on this? I don't know if I can cuss. Uh, no one tells me anything. Um, there were two performances basically that are stuck in my head. I know I'm so annoying right now because I'm literally playing them non-stop, like literally non-stop, because they're stuck in my head. They'll get out of it soon, but the songs are so good, like so good. Like, you know, when you like support a song because you like the artist or you like the individual, and you're like, yes, I'm going to support them because I want them to continue doing the thing that I love. And it's not like you're like, oh my god, I'm pitying them. It's literally like, I want them to continue doing it, so I'm going to support them in whatever they do. And then there's artists where you literally like, I don't even know who this person is, but whatever they did is like is literally amazing. The product is amazing because it's not about the person, it's about what they created. And I think that's so cool. Either way is cool, honestly. I know I'm super obsessive, so it's usually not the I don't know about this person, but I guess when you get older, I can't speak. Why am I doing a podcast? I guess when you get older, society and people judge you on things that you shouldn't really be doing at this age. And it's like the peer pressure that everyone feels. And then there's stuff, obviously there's that line. And when I catch myself doing that, I'm like, I don't like it. Because I'm like, you're literally not doing it because someone's judging you. Ew. It's so weird. I'm like, no. But it's usually I'll grow up or I'll get wiser. And I'll realize that what I'm doing is probably not good. Like, it's probably not a good thing that I'm doing. Like, when you think about it, they're literally, people are following them with a camera and recording whatever. Like, it's kind of crazy. If that was not someone that was a celebrity, you'd be like, oh my god, call the police because I have a stalker. Like, I know it's someone's job, but that would literally be a stalker, right? Like, that's always seemed crazy to me. That's always seemed crazy to me. Because I'm just, it never made sense. Like, they're a public figure, so now it's legal to stalk them. But I know a lot of people appreciate it because when you have a lot of noise on the internet being talked about you, having someone showing up and being like, oh my god, I actually care about you can actually be really nice. So I'm not judging people who are fans. That's insane. I'm the biggest fangirl ever. But like the lack of boundaries or the lack of seeing these people as actual people can get kind of crazy in my opinion. And I don't think it's ever really discussed. It's like people were always when I was always watch it. I can't speak. When I would always watch drama videos again, shouldn't. I, I literally lost my train of thought. Jesus fucking Christ. This is why you don't smoke, guys. Oh my god. But basically, all I was saying is that I just feel like it's the lack of privacy, the lack of seeing these people as actual individuals is a little crazy to me. And the fact that it's that's what I was saying. The fact that it's so normalized that it's just like, oh, it's just a part of the job. That made no sense to me. I'm like, but we can change this. This is not a uniform. You can change your uniform too, but this is not something that has to be a part of the job. We make it a part of the job. Like, that makes no sense. Like, I know it actually helps a lot of people sometimes too, but I feel like it should be something people sign up for. It seems it can be a little bit jarring, but I don't know. I don't want to shame people because I understand having that enthusiasm of extremely over something. But then I think I guess I don't know if it's a gift or a curse where I'm so anxious. Even if it was like a meet and greet that I paid to see someone with, I would still not want to go. Like, it would be like Abed from Community, where he's literally just sitting there the whole episode. The whole time. Oh my god, it's not Abed, it's Troy. What is wrong with me? I know this. I'm literally just mixing up names. I feel so fucking stupid. But that would literally be me, and it's because I'm so anxious. And that's why that would happen. And I guess I would never feel comfortable doing that. It just sucks. But I'm not gonna judge anyone who does. It just seems so crazy that it's expected to treat celebrities like a zoo. I don't like zoos either. But it's just so insane to me. It's so insane. I've never thought that. I've literally always been like, what the fuck? But I digress. I should probably talk about something besides celebrities. Oh my god, the Super Bowl is coming out. And, oh my, I should not. I'm trying to avoid talking about drama. Because when, I was talking about, you mature and you change and you realize that listening to gossip or rumors about people nonstop is probably not the best thing to do as a human being, even though it's really entertaining. I always think, if someone's talking about you, would you really want people to be, listening on your private situations that you yourself have not put out there? That's a little, it's a little bit like, oh, okay, I don't feel comfortable with this. Whenever I talk about personal drama, we're so used to society again. These are not people, but they actually are people, and they are probably gonna hear all this stuff that's being said about them on the internet, and we kind of actually exploit them constantly by using their names to fund whatever we're writing or whatever post we're making, without actually thinking about the fact that they're humans, and we're probably affecting their life in a major way. We don't even realize we have that power. I don't know. I think just people should be a lot more thoughtful. That's my statement of the day. Oh my god. I'm so annoyed. I guess I should probably talk about myself. This was supposed to be you get to know me and talk about myself, the first one, and I've literally been talking about celebrities this whole time, so let me change that. I guess, okay, where did it start? It started when I was born. I don't know. God. This podcast is gonna be cut up so bad. I don't know what to say. So I grew up in northern Maine. I had I don't know the number of my siblings. I have 3 sisters and a brother. I am the youngest of all of them, and we're all 2 years apart. So my mom was always pregnant. She grew up. My mom grew up in. They moved my God, Camara. They moved while they were giving birth to her. So she was born in California, I believe, but they were not raised there. So she was basically born in Oregon, where we reside right now. And that's where she met my dad, who grew up in Chicago. And then he moved to Oregon, and they both they became nurses. They worked in this adult nursing home, and I guess that's how they met. The age difference is is it 13, 12 years? And that's always been oh my god. Because not to freak my dad out if he listens to this, but it just always scares me because I don't want him to pass. And when I think my mom's getting older, all I think is fuck, my dad's 13 years older than her. So I should not be talking about this, but it just worries me a lot. And the fact that I'm the youngest of all of them. Literally, he retired when I was under 18. So it's put me in this weird position of oh my god, my dad's in an older generation and I'm not. So I don't know how long he's going to be there. And that's a bit, not to get too serious, but that can be a little bit scary to think about nonstop. Obviously more for him, and I probably should not be talking about this, but it's an anxious thing. And back to the story of my parents. They met in Oregon. They had basically every child except for me here in Oregon. And now that my mom's family's passed, I guess I can say this. Her family was like, I won't say extremely. They weren't going to be like, this is a KKK clan meeting. Let's burn down the town. It wasn't that type of racism, but it was still racism. And then she was in that area of she has her husband. At this point, she had like 4 kids. And I think it was a lot of, in my opinion, and it comes whenever I see anything with racism, like I know anything about it. But whenever I see racism, it usually comes from the place of jealousy or insecurity. And that's not like, oh my God, black people are so much better. It's just everyone gets jealous and everyone gets insecure. It's just when that's aimed with the power at the same time, it's not really a good thing because people start to lash out in ways that are not the best, in ways that people can't really heal from. And if if I had to have any guess, I'm guessing that's what happened. And at a certain point, they decided that they could not take that anymore, and they decided to move to northern Maine, which I don't know if it was the best decision. It's definitely changed who I am as an individual. I'm gonna say it is because I think growing up in a small town created me as such a. I feel like it was so easy. Like, it was hard. Looking back, I feel like so grateful. But in the moment, I was like, this sucks. Oh my God, blah, 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 complaining about all these things. But literally looking back, I'm just like, wow, it was not that bad for certain things. But once we moved to northern Maine, I was born. I'm horrible at explaining stories. Uh, Everything happened. Blah blah blah. They built their house. Like she bought this like huge plot of land because they owned a business together before they left. She's so proud, as she should. She earned like $1 million through her business in like 1 year. It's pretty impressive. And they built their own house. So they ran out of, I'm laughing. I love my mom. She ran out of money building the house. So my whole childhood, like, things were not finished. And it's not like we were like neglected or anything. I don't want people to worry, but it was just like it was not a good situation. It was not anything I would call a house. It was just a house that was like livable. I don't want to go into specifics because I don't want my mom to get hate on the internet. But she tried her best, and it was not a house. The heating was horrible. We were in northern Maine, so it would be like negative. I'm gonna go to extremes, but it was like negative 20 degrees, and we had this small furnace at the front of the house, and it was supposed to heat the entire house. It did not. So literally, what we ended up doing, and it was so bad. My sister ended up I'm laughing. This is horrible. This is really horrible. She ended up burning out like the veins in her legs because we would be so cold. We would have these space heaters in our own room. And we would be so stupid because we were children. So we would put the blanket over the space heater so it created like an electric blanket situation where we were heated completely underneath it. Obviously, it's a bad fire. Like, do not do this at home. Oh my God, it was a horrible idea. But we were like usually by ourselves because my mom was at work, and then there would be like 5 kids on the fucking prowl by themselves. But oh God, it was not the best house. Let me leave it at that. We never really had any money. It was always hand me downs from my siblings, whatever services the places provide, which the town we live in had none. And there was so much shit going on personally between my mom and my dad that I won't get into. And there was a point where it got to a point of I felt for them that neither one of them could do it anymore. So they decided to divorce. Again, won't go into the details, but my mom got full custody in northern Maine. I think I was like 6 years old. So, oh my god, my parents divorced. But like, it's pretty big, like, cause you're like your child, and you're like my mom, my dad. I remember. I don't even know if I can tell the story. God damn it! I remember it wasn't for anything. Let me be specific. He didn't did anything that he should have been in jail for. But I remember he was also a black man. Let me be specific. We were uh we were getting dropped off at school, and how our school bus. Oh my god, the dogs are barking. I'm sorry. And how our school bus works is we would be in elementary at this time, so I was like 6 years old, 6, 7 years old when this happened. And I'm so dramatic. So the school bus would go from the middle school to the high school because I'm sure. I think my sister was in high school, and we would just go to the library, which was also in the town of the high school, because there was literally nothing in the town we had. Like, literally a gas station, a school, and a superintendent's office. That is it. You have to go to the town over to get anything else, and there's barely anything else there, so you have to go to the town over to that. Like, it's a horrible situation. But it has its charm. Back to the horrible story of my dad. We arrived at the high school, and literally they were arresting him for some stupid ass reason. Let me just say that. And it was literally in front of like the whole school. So I literally come out of the school, and all I see is like my dad in handcuffs. And it's like it was very like, oh my god. It was literally like a child, so I was like freaking out. I was like, "Geez, what's happening?" No one would tell me the whole time. Like, there's some other stuff that ended up happening. We had to stay at this place until the custody thing went out or whatever. And I just remember the whole environment was like, no one's gonna talk to me about it because I'm like 6 years old. So they're just like, okay, you can't really. I don't know if there's this environment of like, she can't process this at this time, so we're just not going to talk about it. And so there's this whole thing of like, there's major things happening, but we're not discussing it, but we're going to be there. Excuse me, if you need anything. So, that was the environment when I was 6. And I think my mom got full custody. We kept in my contact with my dad. I'm the person that I am, so it's crazy. I need to be in like contact with someone for like continuously for me to be comfortable enough to talk to them. And as soon as it even gone for like years, it's gone for me. So I'm just not comfortable talking. So there was a period which I know had to be horrible for my dad, where I couldn't talk to my dad anymore on the phone. And so it was all through my mom. And they were like fighting obviously the whole time. So it was always like bickering through whatever they were doing. And it just was not a good environment. I think the last time I saw him, I was 10. And I don't know if it was for my birthday or if it was just like pure accident. But we went up to New York, which is where it was literally like not that far from where we grew up with. We were just extremely poor. And we saw him for it was like a couple days. It was really nice. I was a kid too, so everything was like bad that happened I didn't really pay attention to or notice. So my awareness was down, which is not really a good thing, but you're a child, so you're not alone, so it can be a good thing. But there are a lot of good things that happen. Like, I grew up vegetarian, and so did my whole family, because my dad's religion, which became all our religion. And so he would bring us to like all these vegetarian restaurants, which I thought was the coolest thing. Because I always grew up eating like, you go to a place and you have french fries and salad, and that's literally the only option they have. Unless you're going to a vegan place, which I had never been in my life until then. And I remember I had like fish and chips, and it was the best thing in the world. I was obsessed. I'm like, oh my god, I need fish and chips, fish and chips. I was like so obsessed. Um, but he also like brought me to like a Jonas Brothers concert, which was so. I thought it was so sweet, but I was such like a judgy kid. I was such a judgy kid. I was like, you can't even hear anything. I was like, we were so. I think it was like a free one or something like that, and so we were like so far away. We literally couldn't hear anything, but there was like like it was obviously a concert, and so he put me on his shoulders, and it was like it felt like we were at a Jonas Brothers, but I was so judgy. I was like, we cannot even hear anything, like that matters. But yeah, it was a nice time. I think that was the last time I saw my dad as a child, just because of how things happened. I've always wanted to. I've seen him a couple times. I've seen him one time when I was an adult. I've kept in contact with him. But it's hard. It's obviously something that I probably shouldn't get deep into on the internet with people that don't know me that well. But it's a hard thing to get used to, and it sucks for both parties. Obviously, I'm aware of that. But I don't know. I feel like I at some points I do wish when I was younger I had a more of a relationship with my dad, and now I'm at this point where I'm like, if I don't try to repair whatever I have, then I'm the person that's going to be at loss when whatever happens. And so I know it's not probably the best to be like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking force myself to have a relationship I'm not really ready for. But at the same time, I don't want to ever lose that opportunity to ever happen again. So it's a hard thing to balance. But I'm gonna leave that at that. Um, Finish more stories about Kamara. Um, After that, it was basically like we had lived in a small town, so there's there's so much information about me. Um, Obviously, I'm autistic. I'm like a black mixed light skinned woman, and I grew up Hindu vegetarian. What I'm trying to say is there's like a lot of restrictions and a lot of struggles that I had to deal with growing up, and it definitely shaped who I am. And a lot of things I'm grateful for. Like I look back and like during the time, I think people had like the touch grass mentality of like, oh, your daughter's just so like autistic or so anxious because she's never been outside because you have not exposed her to people. I mean, the reason why she is so anxious is because she's never around people. And so I think my mom tried to like force me to be in a bunch of programs to help like all like the naysaying moms. It's like a fucking drama out there, guys. Um, but she would literally there would be no period of time where I could just sit and relax. It would be school, after school activities, and this in the summers it would be like literally she would sign me up for the rec department where they would have like arts and crafts class, like um summer dance class, summer swim team, like 15 million classes. And a lot of it was also because it was basically like free daycare. But it was basically also an attempt to get me to be more social and be like, okay, if she's just around these people more, she's going to be able to socialize more and she's going to be more comfortable. And like that just never happened. It always made me like a nervous wreck. Like it never worked out. it was always like a one-on-one environment that was the best for me. And it was like one-on-one for a long period of time. And then I would be comfortable maybe talking to them. And like no one understood that. And it's always created issues with my life. Because it takes me so long to be gay. I've always said I'm more comfortable with a stranger. Because it takes me so long to be comfortable with someone, like crazy long to be comfortable with someone. And that's not an issue for other people. So when they come and see me, they're like, oh my God, that's my friend. And I'm just like, that's that person I've met once or twice, but I'm not really comfortable talking to, but I don't want to be rude. And so it like creates this whole uncomfortable scenario, which is worse when you're older. Because then you're like, oh my God, she's a B word. She's a horrible human being. She's ignoring me. She's a snob. Oh my God. She's so entitled, saying she doesn't have to say hi to me. Like, it's horrible. And like, what I've basically learned is you have to just, and this is not advice, but this is what I do, is literally I just either avoid or I force myself to do something uncomfortable just so someone else feels better. And I know that sounds horrible. It really does sound horrible. But I wouldn't want to make myself, it's literally, I don't want to make someone feel bad either. Like, I would feel bad if I went up to someone, they try to talk to me, and I literally just like, no, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just not going to respond to what they just said because it's uncomfortable. I would never do that. But I will say it upsets me when it feels like it feels like I would make the accommodation for other people where like I'm going to push myself to do something uncomfortable so that you feel good. But it feels horrible when it feels like someone won't do the same for you. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, you can tell I'm watching two people talk on YouTube. You know what I mean? I can see that this person does not want to talk. I can see this person is uncomfortable. And unless this person can't see that, they just don't care, in my opinion. I'm just like, why is that not an issue for you? Like, why is that not like a thing that you think about? Like, oh fuck, I don't want to over talk. This person is clearly uncomfortable with me right now. Maybe I should give them like a space. I feel like that doesn't go through enough people's head. I feel like there's like a middle ground that needs to happen where we're like, okay, I'm gonna push my boundaries a little bit so I don't feel like a horrible human being to people. But there's a point where you have to kind of meet me in the middle. And I feel like everyone gets to that point where no one wants to be the only one that's reaching out, the only one that's feels like they're pushing their boundaries for someone that never even tries. I feels very empty. And it feels like the person doesn't care about how you feel. I don't know, maybe I care too much. Definitely been accused of being a people pleaser. Something about that word just gets me. Because I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like it's not about the fact that I want to please people all the time. It's about the fact that I feel bad. Like, I literally feel bad. It's like a too much empathy situation. Where, like, I want to get in a situation where I can say no with no guilt. I can say no, or I can be like, you know what? I'm not going to talk to this person, and I'm not going to feel anything. I literally could just walk away. They walk up to me, and I literally walk away, and I feel nothing. Like, I feel like I would be horrible human being. See, I can't do that. But that would be the issue of, I feel like I'm not trying to please someone. Maybe that's just the term, but it just makes me uncomfortable to hurt someone's feelings. And I know they're just like, I don't know. Call me a people pleaser. Because I don't know. I can't do it. I don't want to be a horrible person. I think that's point blank period. I don't want to be a horrible person. And so I think I push myself to do things that I'm not really comfortable with. And I try to explain to people, they're just like, it's always better when someone can understand, or they'll be able to explain it, be like, okay, so it's like this, and you're like, yeah, kinda. You can kinda understand a little bit part of the part of like why it feels so difficult. I feel like if people don't have a high level of empathy or they have not experienced the same thing, you can end up in a lot of situations where people are judging your experience or invalidating what you're feeling and saying like it's not really an issue. And I feel like people are like, well, that's not even they invalidate the invalidation because they're just like, well, that's not even a big thing. But it is, because especially it's literally making someone feel like you're crazy. It's someone making you feel like you're crazy. It's literally like, oh, that feeling that you're feeling right now, you should not be feeling that way. You're crazy. You should not be feeling that way. And I feel like it's one of the worst, in my opinion, not the worst, but it's like one of the worst things. Like, especially if you're supposed to be my friend or someone close to my life. Why would you do that? Like, that's not how you're supposed to treat a friend. I've always said, this sounds crazy, but I've always said, I don't invalidate people unless it invalidates someone else. Of like, I'm trying not to go into examples that are like too extreme. Um, so like, let's just say someone got pregnant, right? And now they're overcompensating for something that they're insecure about for a justified reason. Let's be honest. Society sucks. And so they start to overcompensate and do things that are not the greatest for, let's just say, the black community. And then you're stuck in this situation of like, okay, how do I not invalidate this person's feelings without invalidating this other person's feelings, if you know what I mean? Like, how do I navigate this scenario where there's two literally struggling fucking, I don't know, communities that are literally marginalized, or we'll go with marginalized. And you're like, which one which one do you help? Because helping one is going to hurt the other community. And we realize this. There's so many, like, when you're stuck in situations with people who are transgender and people who are non-binary, there's so many situations where you have to be like, well, if I support a person here, I'm not supporting another person here. And it hurts me because I'm just like, I want to support everyone. I know people hate all lives matter. But like, if it's a struggle, I want to support someone. Like, there's no one, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, you're Caucasian, so I'm not going to support anything that happens to you. I think that's completely ridiculous, and we're going to reach a point where no one's going to help anyone if that continues. But I understand not to get into race, but I understand the rage and like the trauma that people have with like race. I don't want to say relations in America, but it's hard. It's hard for people to get over these issues. But I don't think that should muddy things that are actually a struggle. I don't think that means that we should stop talking about LGBT plus rights. I don't think that means that we should stop talking about sexual assault awareness or talk about freaking supporting moms who are literally birthing their body. Like, they're birthing with their whole entire body, and we just ignore that. That's fucking hard ass work. Yeah, you're blessed if you get to a point that you can do that. But let's not dismiss that this is an actual struggle. Like, I hate getting to that point. I know people are like, no, let's not do all lives matter. But like, if it's a struggle, let's support someone's struggle. Like, I can't get around this. I know I'm privileged. I'm aware of that too. And I know there's like so much fighting in the middle of all communities. And there's no magic answer that's going to stop it, because we're not a collective and everyone has their own individual mind. And not everyone has reached the point of wisdom that I hope we all get. So it leads to a lot of chaos and destruction. I think nobody wants it. I don't know. I don't know how I got to this topic, but in my head, I feel like it's on terms of sobriety. I know people are just like, there's a line of people like, well, if we just ignore things that have happened in the past, it's just going to keep people from walking all over you, and it's just gonna tell them that it's okay to do this. But at the same time, I think beating down people to the point where they're no longer people for making human errors, I don't think that's helpful. I feel like realizing people acknowledging that they fucked up, not like, oh, I accidentally, yeah, let's acknowledge that you made a mistake, acknowledge that this happened, acknowledge that this is the world that we live in, but also realize that holding people into like this image of whatever thing happened, obviously we're not talking like Holocaust level, but holding a human for making a human mistake, holding them accountable for the rest of their life, and expecting them to change is insane to me. Insane to me. Like what is the reason that you keep bringing this up? What is the reason that this is an issue for you? Is it because that they are continuing this appalling behavior, or is it that we are not able to process or to move on for something? Because I feel like us not being able to process something, or us being unable to like get over or move on, and inflicting that on other people by choice, I feel like that just hurts the issue, in my opinion. You can completely disregard it. I honestly think it just keeps people pigeonholed into whatever image upsets you about them. I think it never helps them grow. It never helps them move on. It never helps them realize that it's okay to change from this behavior. But at the same time, I know, it's a lot of feels victim blaming going on. But I don't know. I just feel very strongly about this. The point of, you want to feel validated, you don't want to feel invalidated for how you're justifiably feeling, but at the same time you want to stop the cycle. You don't want to just lash out back at this person that is lashing out at you, and then continue having them lash out, and then people are just like, it's never going to end until someone's dead. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, and I don't think that's something that people want to happen. In my opinion, I don't think that's something that anyone wants to happen. I think people want it to stop. At the same time, they want to feel validated for whatever feeling that they're feeling. And that's completely reasonable. It's just horrible that how we're going to be able to do that. It's a hard thing to do, which is not feel the emotions that you're feeling, because it's going to create a cycle that's not good for you and everyone around. And it's horrible because, like, everyone should be feeling that one. Everyone should be feeling the same thing of, oh, if I say this is just going to create a cycle. It shouldn't just be people of color or marginalized communities that are afraid to speak out or stand up for themselves and afraid of what's going to happen when that happens. Like, that's the point where people get, in my opinion, I keep saying that, when people get annoyed and they're like, so I'm going to walk and tiptoe and do all this stuff, and you're just going to continue doing the same behavior. Like, I feel like everyone needs to acknowledge that this is an issue. Everyone needs to be a part of the change. And people need to stop invalidating people. I honestly feel that one deep to my fucking core. I feel like that is so much of the issues of why we have so many of our problems, is because literally every time someone wants to talk about a problem they have or talk about something that happened to them to someone in a different point of view, I will say, all we get is judgment. All we get is this isn't an actual issue. And it's just not, it's not going to work. And we need more understanding. I'm just preaching about this and I'm about to stop. But we seriously do. We need more people to be more understanding, and you don't have to live the life to respect people that do. I'm trying to create a slogan, but you literally don't. You don't have to be like, I know people hate the word privilege now, but just because you're privileged doesn't mean it has to be a bad thing. I 100% believe that. Just because you have not seen or experienced something doesn't mean that you're a horrible person. What happens is when someone invalidates or judges, or they're held up above someone, and you're just, is no one seeing this? Is no one seeing what's happening? Is no one seeing how this is not something that should be compared? And it bothers me. It bothers everyone. I know it bothers people to even be called privileged. It's just, I think literally all we have to do is be aware of other people's struggles, not try to dismiss them or invalidate them. And literally, why are we comparing? Why do we need to compare? I know that you're competing in a fucking, I don't know, a football game, which I'm definitely watching the Super Bowl. I'm so excited. But I understand that's a competition, but there's no need to like put two random people and compare them for whatever reason. And now we have two communities fighting against each other because you wanted to compare someone. Like, this is insane. Like, it's a pissing contest that's happening. And we don't need the comparison. No one needs the comparison. If you want to compete with someone, you can compete with yourself. Like, there's no need to be like, I'm better than this person. just letting you know I'm better than you. Like, there's no need for that to happen ever. I know people are tired of being called privileged. I'm saying this again. But there's no need to call someone out on I'm better than you, or I think I'm better than you. Like, neither one of those conversations need to happen, in my opinion. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I got really too political. I should not be talking about this. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god, the California fires. I don't know much about this. We are in Oregon right now, but I my thoughts are with everyone that is dealing with that. That it's such a horrific thing to happen, and in the beginning when it was happening, a lot of the people, especially who are not in California, were basically talking about the fact that it's again, they're privileged people, so because they're privileged people, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, I don't believe in that argument, period. If anything, I feel like other issues should be uplifted, not like this issue should not be talked about. We should be talking about other issues as well, not just this. But I do think that doesn't mean that we should dismiss that this is an actual issue. There are so many people affected by this, and so many people that are not what you would necessarily considered. Everyone is privileged. Can we get over this? Like, everyone is privileged. You're not going to meet one person that does not have one sort type of privilege. Obviously, some people are going to be way more, but like everyone is privileged. People need to stop getting over, oh my god, someone's privileged. Like, yeah, no duh, everyone is. There's not one person that is not privileged. Like, I don't understand how this has become an issue. I know why it's become an issue, because of judgment and validation. Saying the same thing over and over. But I don't know. I'm not going to say anything that is I shouldn't be saying. All I will say is, if you want to support them, I don't have a website or anything to say. Oh God, I feel horrible. I should have been more prepared. I'm sure you can literally just Google California fires, and there'll be a bunch of charities that you could support. Or if you're actually in California, I think there might be some. It's dying down, but the last I've heard, there's still they still need help. And so if you are able to, any help that would you can do is obviously would help everyone. I would definitely appreciate it. Um, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. I mean, I could continue talking about my childhood, but I keep ping ponging back and forth. I'm not sure anyone can follow this. I will say, I want you guys to try to guess what two songs from the Grammys are stuck in my head. Literally, I think Marcus literally hates me because I don't wear headphones that often. So I literally have these songs playing nonstop every day. He's not said anything yet, but I know he's like, stop playing that fucking song. It's stuck in my head. I'm literally like, they're gonna think I'm a stalker. The song is literally stuck in my head. I don't know what to do. Okay. Okay. Yes. I'm not sure what else to say. Oh, I could talk about the last story I could say from my childhood, and we could finish this up with a part 2 on next week's if this is something that is interesting at all. I just wanted the first ones for like anyone who was like, oh my God, I've never heard of this random ass chick, to get a little information. Yeah, it's probably boring. But I can talk about my one and only experience on an actual film. So, obviously I am autistic. I don't know why I said that like that. But I'm super obsessed with things. Like I get really, really obsessed. Not like you level, guys. Come on. But I literally just like it gets stuck in my head. It's like that. It's literally like having like a song stuck in your head. But it's whatever thing you're obsessing about. It literally could be anything. So that's why you literally have to ask someone and be like, "What are you obsessed about?" No judgment, honestly. Um, but I was obsessed with obviously TV shows and movies, like so much. Like I think it helped me. It helped me understand just how people connect and how people socialize and what is considered normal in society. I don't know. It really helped me um, understand a lot more. My vocabulary became crazy huge. We won't get into my school story, yes, yet, but it was not from that. Um, and I don't know. It became like literally, I was something that was literally, in my opinion, probably done too much. Like I probably overindulged in it, in my opinion. But it's hard because unless I was never obsessed with anything that was productive. That's the thing that freaking sucks. If it's not something that's actually good for you, it's damaging to you. It doesn't feel good. It's not a good thing to be like, yes, I'm in love with my job and I love showing up here every single day and I'm happy. Like it's not always that. And I used to be jealous of people that found something like that because I'm just like, my obsession is television and I get nothing from it, and people judge me from it 24/7. Yeah, it's an issue, but it was my obsession. And I think I've talked about this. Oh God, if you watch my vlogs that are now taken down because they are so, oh my God, I look horrible, I sound horrible, the quality is like everything's horrible. But I guess if enough people ask, I'll put it back up, or I could react to them. I have a lot of old footage of me, old footage. Ugh, I can't speak. Speaking of, one of my favorite shows growing up was obviously Buffy the Vampire Slayer. was literally my favorite show growing up. Literally my all-time favorite. And it sucks because Joss Whedon used to be my favorite. And then I learned so much information and now I'm not sure how to feel. Like I don't want this is the thing when I told you you're caught between a rock and a hard place. Where like this person created like such an amazing product in my opinion. Like if we're talking about the art, not the person, the art was like on a level of like it touched like emotional, it was funny. It was like it went through all the things and the writing was good and it was like it was one of the best shows in my opinion. But then you're like, but this is an actual person. So should we uplift them? But then I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to. I'm just gonna say Switzerland on this because I do not know. I'm pretty sure I've heard some stuff. Yeah, I'm just not gonna talk about it because I don't know. But it used to be my favorite show. I literally have a clip. I think I must have been like 5, or I look so young, and I'm like singing "Rest in Peace" from the Buffy musical, and I'm literally like, I'm gonna be singing this from William the Bloody. And I was so young. And I watch back and I'm like, oh my god, who let me watch this show? I look like I'm fucking 5. But my obsession with television, there you go. My mom was in college and I was basically at her college 24/7 because of my age. And the library, they had a poster up and they were doing, I think it was like just a college film, and they were doing a movie called Zombies Are Coming to Town. Look it up. My one and only project. um so I forced my mom. I got so excited. I was literally like, oh, 1 second, let me adjust this. I got really excited. I forced my mom to bring me to the audition. The anxiety was gone because of my excitement, which was a good thing. Um, and so I literally I did the audition. It was horrible. It was supposed to be for like 2 little boys, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it anyways. The director looks at the script and goes to my mom. He's like, okay, so there's some swearing in this. Are you okay with her saying this? And she's like, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, she was not that type of mom. And I'm sorry. I literally, again, I forced my mom to go back because they were just like, okay, you got the part. I was like, yes, really? Because they were taking no child was going to do this. You're like, you're the only child that wanted to do this film in this town. No parent is going to let them do this. Uh, so I made but it was like 2 brothers. So I'm like, okay, mom, let's go back and get Lakshmi, who was like my best friend growing up, my sister. And so I made my sister come back. And I'm like, you have to audition for this movie. And I was so excited. I'm like, blah 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 blah. She actually did it. She came back and she auditioned for the role. My brother ended up coming and he auditioned as well. And my whole family ended up being extras in the movie. My mom was like so into it because she was obsessed with zombies. She got really into like the makeup special effects on how to create like a zombie bite. And then like I had like 5 lines. And obviously I don't know if I've only done this one, but it took a while for it to be made. So we would have like these like meetings where all I would do is eat like all the chips in the back. Like that's all I did. I was so excited. I'm like, oh my god, free chips! Yes, sign me up. It was such a low bar. Oh my god. Um, but oh god, it was such a fun experience. Oh my god, it was so fun. I had like 5 lines once again, so I memorized them nonstop. I was so proud because he comes up to us like, you're the only people who remembered the lines, and I was so proud. And now I'm like, yeah, because you had like 5 lines. That's why. Uh, but it was so fun. It was so fun. Oh my god, it was such a fun experience. It was so bad. Like looking back, I'm like, oh my god, this is so. And then my like, you look back. The funniest thing is my walk. you can see I'm trying to like show you how like I don't want to do this. And I'm like walking over all crouched. Whatever. It's a pretty good movie. It's like yeah, they didn't have much budget, and I'm pretty sure everyone in the movie, no one got paid. It was, if the movie makes any money, you'll get like a percentage off of it. But no one really got paid for it, unless you got like craft service. We got that, which was awesome. But yeah, it was just a really fun thing to do. Everyone in it didn't really act. It was basically like, I'm doing this movie in a really small town. Anyone who is willing to do it, I'll take them, because there's really no any options at that point. And so, sorry, it actually entered some festivals, which I remember looking back. I was so scary. I'm like, how many people saw that? That's kind of crazy. We they had in the 2 towns over from our town, they had a premiere, and I don't know if they did, but someone bought out the whole movie theater. But the movie was playing in the movie theater, and like the whole cast was there, and we were all dressed up in like dresses. It was so fun. I think I have a photo on the internet with like a rose in my mouth. It was such a fun experience. Oh my god. I'm sorry. It was so fun. This is, oh yeah. I don't think it would probably be like that now. I don't know. I'm a lot more aware now, and it leads to a lot more uncomfortable situations, which sucks. But it's better for people, because I can less accidentally hurt them, which is, it's not fun. So awareness is cool, even though it sucks, because like it's fun to like not get hurt by people. Oh god. We're gonna end that there, because I've just been ranting about fucking movies for way too long. Hopefully this will be a weekly thing. I don't know if, again, I'll try to make the letters and the voicemails a part of the show, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Obviously, if enough people write in or enough people call in, I would be happy to. It would leave more than just me talking to myself. But if it doesn't, it might just be me and you talking, or just literally me talking. But I will see you guys next week. Maybe we'll talk about the Super Bowl. Oh, and let me talk about everything else, in case anyone watches. I don't think anyone... See, this is why, like, I stopped, because I'm literally, like, no one watches my stuff, so if I literally stop, who's gonna care? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm just putting this stuff out in the world, and no one really, in my opinion, I thought, responded. So it's just like, what's the point of continuously? Whatever. I just didn't think it was gonna be an issue. But for my YouTube, the plan for YouTube is not to continue. YouTube, okay. Vlogging will not happen until we move, period. I've tried on TikTok, and it's just too complicated for too many reasons that I'm not going to get into, but it's just very complicated. And it would be so much easier just to wait until we're moving. And the moving date has been pushed back so many times, because so many things keep popping up, and my life is too hectic. Like, I'm so sorry. But I'm so waiting to move out of this place more than anything. That will be the first vlog that will be posted, which will be when we move. So I'm really excited for that when that happens. So that's on YouTube. I might post, I don't know. I might start posting other videos besides vlog content on YouTube. I know Marcus has been really into wanting to do a Let's Play. And I want to help him set up his channel for himself. If anyone wants to go watch, he would love that. The TikTok, I want to start doing TikToks more. TikTok more. Like, I just did like oh my god, Forever 21. Their sale is like crazy. They had like a bunch of tops for like $2, $3, like a doll. Like it was insane. Like cheaper than Sheen or Team, like any. It was really good quality too. So I got like I think I got like $50 worth of a. I don't buy clothes. I don't buy clothes ever. It's mostly hair shit. Is what I indulge in. But I decided to do like just a really get a couple tops because I have no clothes and I look like shit. I look really bad, and I thought I would get some clothes. So instead of going to my favorite clothing stop thrift store, I decided to go online, which is a horrible decision that you should never do. And I've just been screwed every single time I bought clothes online. I did a small order on Forever 21, and I might do a haul when they come out. If all the clothes are horrible and I have to return it, then you'll know that this was for nothing. But it's just because I can't try it on. Like I should really go in. But having it shipped directly to your house is just a convenience I can't say no to. But now my ranting's done. Oh, yeah, the last app is Instagram. Not that anyone fucking cares. Oh, sorry. Instagram. Technically, I'm going to be posting on all my socials soon. Like, Instagram should be continuing, literally. We just had a litter of puppies again. Oh my god, we're not going to get into. But they should be all rehomed at the end of this week. And that's when content should be back. If anyone is interested on TikTok more regularly, I am going to come back to Instagram. That's going to happen more regularly, consistently. Yeah. So I'll be on TikTok more. I'll be on Instagram. YouTube is a maybe, and probably Snap. I don't know if you guys can see me on Snapchat, but I'm on there occasionally. Yeah, if I can pull it up. Yeah, we'll see. I was gonna say I'm lazy, but I'm not gonna go there. I keep dragging this out, so let me just say goodbye. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys come back and listen next week.